Hi, welcome to your astrology for the week. So on January 8th, the moon in Aries squares Venus in Capricorn and Mercury in Capricorn. So the moon in Aries is going to give us a lot of extra drive and energy to get stuff done. We want to make sure to get stuff done, or, stuff could happen, like impatience and impulsiveness and argumentativeness, and possibly even confrontation. Okay, anyway, squaring Venus and Mercury in Capricorn, this really makes us maybe feel like a little more impatient at work, impatient in the career place, or even be a little too impulsive or blunt when it comes to communicating with the public. And also, since Venus is involved, it could cause a bit of impulsiveness, impatience, or bluntness within our relationships as well. So we want to make sure that we're expending our energies properly by exercising and really using our energy wisely. And since Capricorn is definitely long-term ambition, you can definitely get the short-term stuff done that leads up to the long-term goal. Alright, Mars in Libra squares Jupiter in Cancer, and Jupiter is retrograde. So, Mars in Libra is going to be happening for a while now, and Mars isn't exactly comfortable in Libra, considering Libra is the opposite of Aries, which Mars rules. So, there could be a bit of passive aggressiveness or even just a lack of confrontation that could occur. And we want to make sure that we don't do that, because it'll obviously build up and then an explosion will occur. And nobody likes that, right? So the best way to deal with Mars in Libra is to be diplomatically confrontational, saying things that need to be said with tact. And then squaring Jupiter in Cancer could kind of create conflict within relationships and the home life, and maybe our inner philosophies are not fully in line with our relationships, or maybe our ego drives are not fully in line with what would actually expand us further in our lives. So with Jupiter retrograde, it's definitely more of an inward focus, more of a reflection or inner reflection focus. So our inner philosophies and our inner expansion is where the focus will be, and especially with it in Cancer, which is already, our innermost emotional state and our home and our family. So it's definitely a good time to do some inner reflection. And also make sure to tactfully confront any issues you might have to face, especially when it comes to relationships. Alright, and then later that day, the moon moves into Taurus. And, of course, Taurus is a lot different than Aries. Taurus is a much more slow and steady, take your time approach, and definitely enjoys the finer things in life. A little bit of, delicious food, and all the creature comforts, anything you can imagine, massages, baths, relaxation, that type of thing. And also, they're very practical, and they can be stubborn, so you definitely want to watch out for that. But ultimately, it should be, you should be able to still get some stuff done even in the evening, but it will be a lot more relaxed approach, a little slower, a little steadier. And it's definitely more for long-term gratification than short-term game, which Aries is definitely wanting that. They want it now. So definitely switches moods later. Alright, and then tomorrow, January 9th, 2014, is when the moon in Taurus sextiles Neptune and Pisces, really helping us, have our emotional instincts and our intuition in line with each other. So following your hunches and actually taking practical action on any daydreams you might have is a really great idea. And yeah, definitely follow your instincts on this day. And we've got the moon sextiling Chiron in Pisces. So this is going to bring up some emotional wounds for us, but it should be a very gentle release of emotional pain. And meditation is actually awesome for helping that to go along in a smoother manner, because you're consciously going into, you're enduring it consciously, which is a lot easier than like having it hit you, and avoiding those emotions is not always healthy. So it's a good time to deal with them in a very gentle way. And the moon trines Pluto in Capricorn, also bringing up unconscious things, especially into our subconscious mind. So our dreams are probably going to be a little more intense, and we might have to confront some unconscious emotions. But considering it's a trine, it should be a lot easier to do, and meditation will definitely help with that. And it's also great for long-term transformation, and you could even be transforming what you do for a career. And also, that moon in Taurus is a very slow and steady approach. Capricorn is also a very long-term, steady approach. So it's a great day for taking steps towards your long-term career goals. All right, and the moon sextiles Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. So this definitely helps us to expand within our own homes, expand within our own emotions, really go within, and you will find the best inspiration by going within. And yeah, you should ultimately feel pretty good about where you are emotionally, and anything that you really want to do for creating abundance, make sure that you are emotionally in tune with whatever it is you're doing. Alright, on January 10th, 2014, the moon in Taurus trines the sun in Capricorn. This is awesome for getting stuff done as well, and you should feel pretty good, and your whole sense of self will be in tune with your emotions, and you definitely would do well, working towards career goals, dealing with finances, dealing with practical matters, and getting things done in a methodical, step-by-step process, very slow and steady. And yeah, the moon trines Venus in Capricorn as well, so it's emotionally and in our relationships, we should be feeling very good. It might even be a good idea to enjoy sensual things with your lover, and even doing something practical for them would be nice too. Also, you probably will feel pretty good in your career, and it should be pretty, things should be pretty harmonious when you are, at your whatever it is you do for a career. And then the moon in Taurus opposes Saturn in Scorpio. So this is bringing up how we feel about, our values and where we stand in our values, and what responsibilities we have, especially when it comes to shared resources, and where we are in our subconscious tendencies. Like maybe we're trying to get rid of certain subconscious tendencies that are not really working for us. So this is definitely bringing up some tensions there, and it's a good idea to try to hone in on what it is you're feeling, and make sure to follow what your own moral compass is telling you, and let go of whatever subconscious tendencies are coming up for you. All right. On January 11th, 2014, we've got the moon in Taurus trining Mercury in Capricorn. This helps us communicate our emotions a lot more effectively, and we are able to balance ourselves emotionally and intellectually at this time, and be able to have discussions about emotional topics without it getting too out of control. So yeah, and then having them be in Taurus and Capricorn, makes it a lot more about maybe money and career and all those, you know, earthly things. And so we can definitely communicate more effectively when it comes to talking to the public even, or talking about what our goals are and talking about finances. Venus conjuncts the Sun in Capricorn, and they're both sextiling Saturn and Scorpio. So Venus and the Sun conjuncting helps us to really feel good about ourselves and focus on self-love. And we probably will appear pretty attractive to others. Most people will, you know, notice people more, like, you know, will have more of a, you know, romantic type of day. And sextiling Saturn and Scorpio kind of brings into our, you know, into our love lives what needs to be done in a practical sense. And it's definitely about eliminating the subconscious tendencies that have maybe, you know, not always been, that have been maybe self-sabotaging. So it's definitely, you know, going to bring that to awareness, but it should be very effective in like transforming that stuff into something more useful. And Saturn definitely likes utility, so taking care of, you know, that stuff, and then also being able to make it more useful into our lives is kind of what that brings to mind for me. All right, the moon in Gemini squares Neptune in Pisces. So our mental faculties and our intuition may be at odds, and our emotions are involved there because the moon in Gemini. Moon in Gemini is definitely very changeable, very change your mind all the time, and the moon is, you know, a very changeable planet, or, well, it's not really a planet, but, you know, we can call it that in astrology, I guess. But basically, the moon is switching signs like every couple of days. And then Gemini, it being so, you know, mercurial and air sign, is very changeable. It's a mutable air sign. So you can just imagine what that might be like. Squaring Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is definitely up in the air and very meldy. It's very ethereal and not really of this plane at all. And Pisces is ruled by Neptune. So we've got some really interesting combinations there. So it's going to be a little bit hard to stay on task probably, and we're probably going to drift off into our daydreams, and you definitely want to watch out for where you go within your daydreams. You want to try to stay like as in your body as possible, and try to maybe even write down things that you're feeling to help you to kind of process things easier. All right. Where am I? All right, here we are. Moon sextiles Uranus and Aries on that same day, Moon in Gemini. So our thoughts are moving at lightning speed. We've got some insights coming in, objective points of view, able to just really look at things from a whole new perspective. And it may be sort of shocking, some of the insights we have. And some of our conversations could be like otherworldly, very maybe even talking about UFOs or aliens, or things that are really, you know, off the wall, and also very innovative and revolutionary. All right, and Mercury moves into Aquarius on that same day. How appropriate is that? Our thoughts are definitely like, whoa, like holy cow, we just learned something so intense just now. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, it's very insightful. You're going to be able to look at everything from a much more objective perspective, and off-the-wall conversations, insights coming at you left and right. Totally good time to write down some insights that you have, and yeah, it'll help you process things a little easier because it'll be like lightning speed things coming at you. So writing stuff down will help you to kind of slow that speed down a little bit. Also, conversations with friends could happen, and also conversations about humanitarian changes or you know, hopes, wishes, dreams, ideals, all of that stuff could come to the forefront. All right, Moon in Gemini on this is January 12th, by the way. Moon in Gemini squares Chiron in Pisces. This is going to bring up some old wounds, probably through some of the conversations you have, and it'll definitely be a subtle, like, you know, thing sometimes, but if you're very sensitive to that kind of thing, you'll probably feel it when you're talking to someone. So make sure to not prod too much into someone's emotional field. If you're within yourself and like kind of you know, meditating or whatever, then make sure to write down everything you're feeling, because it's going to help you to learn something new, maybe about your old wounds, and be able to heal those a little easier. And the Moon in Gemini trines Mars in Libra as well on that day. So this definitely is going to give us a lot of energy, and our communication could be very intellectual. A lot of intellectual conversation could happen, and we could look at our emotions in a much more intellectual way. And we may enjoy, you know, having lighthearted arguments about, you know, intellectual subjects, and yeah, it should be kind of more of a playful argumentativeness, and as long as you don't let your emotions get too carried away, it should be, you know, the fun kind. All right, and January 13th, 2014, the Moon in Cancer trines Neptune in Pisces. Definitely a great day for meditation, definitely a good day for daydreams, great for writing poetry, writing down your emotions, and writing songs, expressing yourself in a creative way through your emotions, expressing your emotions in a creative way. All right, January 14th, 2013, Mercury in Aquarius squares the North and South nodes in Scorpio and Taurus, respectively. And Mercury in Aquarius is definitely bringing in the insights into our, you know, into our minds. And the North and South nodes are, we're able to look at these things that we need to let go of when it comes to our values and our subconscious tendencies, as well as what we're really aiming towards for transformation, like transformation of the subconscious of the world. Basically, transforming anything that's hidden and exposing it so that it is, you know, shown for what it really is, rather than what we have, you know, kind of boxed it into. Because a lot of times, you know, anything that has been considered taboo, that has been exposed, has actually transformed in the way that it is, you know, actually is, rather than as we perceive it to be. And, you know, sometimes we just, you know, brush those things aside and label it as something that it actually isn't. So anyway, basically that's kind of what this North Node is about. And we're able to look at these things in an objective way, but at the same time, it's going to be shocking. And it's going to kind of cause some tensions, especially in conversations with other people who might have different values and different viewpoints on maybe whatever is being, you know, brought into the light from the places that we put it. Like, you know, yeah, into the subconsciousness of our world. So anyway, yeah, conversation should be interesting, to say the least, and you definitely want to be tactful in how you communicate whatever values you have or whatever viewpoints you have about these matters. Okay, so then the Moon in Cancer squares Uranus in Aries. So we're kind of at conflict with how we feel and how rapidly the world is changing. So it's definitely a good day to kind of process your own emotions and maybe, you know, kind of allow any insights you have recently had to kind of ruminate in your mind so that, you know, you don't have to deal with the stress or the conflict of, you know, all these new changes happening so fast, because you might feel a little bit of burnout on that day. So the moon in Cancer also trines Chiron and Pisces on that day, and we're definitely dealing with our emotions again, but it should be an easy flow of emotion, and if we deal with it right away, then we don't have to worry about it, and it won't be too painful. It'll be pretty mellow, and as soon as we do, we might feel a bit better afterwards too. And then the moon also opposes Pluto in Capricorn. So this could actually bring up subconscious power struggles and emotional power plays and, you know, some things that are not so pleasant. But if we actually become aware of what is going on with ourselves subconsciously or unconsciously, then it shouldn't be so bad. And there could also be a bit of a conflict between our own inner world and the outer world. So going within ourselves first is more important, probably on this day, and then dealing with others after that. You know, after you've gone within, then things should go a little smoother when it comes to your outer world. All right, and then the moon also conjuncts Jupiter in Cancer. So definitely being able to look at our emotions in a more philosophical light, being able to get an expanded point of view of how we're feeling. So basically it's bringing, you know, a more objective perspective to our subjective emotions. So it's definitely useful on a day like that. All right, January 15th, 2013. The moon squares Mars in Libra, the moon in Cancer. So definitely want to exercise. Exercise and, you know, get things done. And, you know, if you don't, then it could cause, you know, arguments about the home or about the relationship. And we definitely want things to, you know, be, you know, smooth with Mars and Libra. Libra loves harmony, and Cancer loves its comfort. So it seems like these two tensions could actually find a common ground as long as, you know, you do take care of some of maybe your, you know, like take care of your responsibilities at home or maybe exercise. All right. Then the moon opposes Venus in Capricorn on this same day. So it's definitely going to create tensions in relationships, also tensions between home life and, you know, career life. So we definitely need to try to find a good balance between those two things. And, you know, if you've been, you know, maybe focusing on the home too much, then you want to go focus on your career more. If you've been focusing on your career too much, then you definitely want to focus on your inner life a bit more. And that should help the tensions kind of, you know, dissipate a little bit. The moon in Cancer trines Saturn and Scorpio also on that day. So we are able to put our subconscious tendencies into practical use on that day. We can kind of deal with those things a little easier, let go of those, you know, negative things a little easier, and we could even just express them a little easier, bring them to light a little easier. So that's one benefit of that day. Alright, and then the moon opposes Sun in Capricorn, which is a full moon. So full moons are always very highly energetic days, and we definitely want to, make sure to balance our inner and outer worlds on this day, because there will be tensions about it. And the sun is definitely our outer directed personality, and the moon is definitely our inner directed emotional, you know, feelings. And the moon is in its, you know, home sign of Cancer. So we are going to be dealing with whatever emotions we haven't dealt with, and it's going to be coming to light, whether, you know, we're ready for it or not. So if you do prepare yourself before this, then it shouldn't be as rough on you, and it could actually be, you know, an energetically exciting day rather than something that, you know, is more tense. Okay, so that is your astrology for the week. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll be back soon with another video, probably next week. I may do an oracle card reading, but I might take a break from oracle card readings. I'm still undecided right now, because I kind of want to focus on just doing them for myself for a while, because I've kind of just, you know, seems right. Anyway, all right, well, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys, and have a great week.